really wasn't going to do a video on this, but I've decided that just in case it turns out extra cute, I want to be able to not have to go back and figure out how to show what I've done. So I'm going to go one step at a time. Don't do anything until you watch this whole video because it's going to be a conglomeration of mess ups. I just have some ideas. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, but this is going to be something like a beachy type of ocean nautical centerpiece. And I'm going to do it for my mother's full skilled nursing, which is here in Florida, and that's the theme that they have. And if you've watched my videos, I do 3 tables for every holiday, but in between the holiday, they really don't have anything. So a neighbor gave me 3 of these pots, and I'm going to work with this. I have styrofoam that I'm going to put inside of it. And then we're going to start with Dollar Tree. I found a couple of these at Dollar Tree, and I think it kind of looks like that stuff under the ocean. And it's like a glittery yellow. I haven't ever seen it after. The one time I saw this, I got 2 of these, so I'm gonna have to split it in 3 different containers. I think I might add some turquoise paint on them. I'm gonna practice on a little piece and see if it looks okay. But just in case it doesn't, I got these, which I'm gonna take the flower out, and that kind of looks like that sea grass or whatever you call it that's in the ocean or around the ocean. And so I thought about this, maybe even with this, minus the flower. And then I found this, which kind of looks like weeds in a way, but it also reminds me of something that we would see in the Keys here in Florida. So I thought I might maybe add a piece of that in there. And I got this big container bag of seashell. I did say it was going to be step by step, so I just tried a little bit of paint on this, and it seems like it's going to take away so much of that yellow, which I still want in there, because the shells actually have a little bit of a yellow cast to them also. So I've taken 2 different colors of turquoise, and I have a paintbrush that's kind of beat up at the end, and I've just dipped the tips into it, and then I've just kind of run it just along here, just little teeny tiny bits to whisk it over. And the 2 colors are looking good with the yellow, which will give it a little bit more of a ocean beachy look. And I think those 2 colors mixing with the yellow are coming out good. So I'm gonna continue working on that. By the way, I just realized what this is, because if you look at the tag that comes on these things, I guess that would tell you what it is. And this is an Easter item, and it says glitter branch. So maybe I should have been looking more in the Easter section and less in the floral department. So this is a little hint of how you might be able to find this. Well, I'm glad I told you in the beginning of this to watch through so that you could figure out what I was doing, because I didn't even know what I was doing. But now I have a plan, and all of that stuff that I had, this stick stuff and those green leaves, this green netting, it was really a Dollar Tree disaster. So I've simplified it now. I have my thought together. So now you can start paying attention to what I'm gonna do. I am going to use these containers that my neighbor gave to me. But of course you can get something from Dollar Tree and you can spray paint it even if it was plastic. I have filled it with styrofoam, and to cover the styrofoam, I'm going to use Dollar Tree. They have a package of cork, peel off cork, and I think this can look like sand. So that's going to be peeled off and stuck on top of here. And then I'm gonna just be really simple. I'm gonna use these sticks that I painted, and I did add a little more of the turquoise, light and dark turquoise, two colors on there. And then the anchors that I got from Walmart, I've painted turquoise. I did do both sides. And this rope, I've already taken off the package, but it is from Dollar Tree. And I'm gonna use this rope in, what my plan is I'm going to stick this in here. I'm going to cut these off because I only did get 2 of these. So I'm gonna use 3 branches from the 2, which ends up giving me enough to do 3 centerpieces. I am gonna use this rope. I got this from I think it was from the garden area. It doesn't matter, you'll find it. And my plan is I'm gonna put this through the top. I'm gonna tie a little knot. I am going to make a slit in the top of this cork with a razor blade going all the way through to the styrofoam, and I'm going to stick this down in there and angle it. Then I'm going to wrap this around like that. And where this cork comes up to the edge, it just doesn't really have a nice finish on it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap the rope around the edge. I'm going to glue it along the edge. And I think one layer of the rope is going to be a little sparse. So I'm planning on wrapping it twice around that. And then I'm going to fill it with shells. And I did get the bag of shells from Dollar Tree, and they're kind of big. Fortunately, because of living in Florida, I was able to go and get some smaller shells. I know that's not going to be for everybody that's going to see this, but I'm sure that somewhere along the line you can find some smaller shells, because the opening, the inside of this container here is just smaller than the shells that Dollar Tree has. They're real big. So I'm gonna start working on that, and then I'll stop and show you where I'm at so that you can see how it's going. Okay, so my styrofoam is covered. I've made a slit down in there with a razor, and I have pushed the anchor in. I am gonna put some hot glue on each side of it, and also this, not only did I use the peel off, but I did also use some hot glue on it. And as you can see, it's sticking up because my styrofoam was a little taller in one area, but it's not gonna matter, because now right along the edge of that, I'm gonna do like I told you. I'm gonna wrap this around here, and then I'm gonna do a second wrap, and then you can see what it's gonna look like. Check this out. It's looking pretty good so far. I did, when I ended the rope right here, I took my scissors and cut it on a real major angle so that it just could kind of work itself into the rope that was already continuing on. And now I'm gonna start adding some seashells, and I don't think there's much more to do with it. So I'm gonna just kind of collage them on here, and then I'll show you the final result. Side note, after I painted this turquoise, I just used a ruler to do the angles of these white lines, and the white lines were done with this paint pen. I use it a lot on the little chalkboard signs, and I have them in 3 different thicknesses. So I used the thicker one to make these stripes on it, and that can be helpful for making stripes on things like this or writing. Okay, complete. I did put 2 of them together. Of course, I do 3 normally for my mother's full skilled nursing, but I have the 2 of them done, and I will show you one of them. I just collaged a lot of shells together, trying to cover up that cork board, but the little bits you can see through, I think it was a good idea to put that on there. The one sheet of cork board is going to do all 3 of these, depending on how you place it. And it's all been hot glued on, and I think it's a great centerpiece. I hope you can use this maybe for a wedding centerpiece or at your beach house. You can pick and choose. I enjoyed making it. I hope you do too, and please subscribe to my channel. Another small detail on these centerpieces is to glue some small seashells inside the sticks. And it was done on both sides. There's the final result.